Previously on the Devi Diva show, the times were dark. Demons from the netherworld had driven the gods out of their heavenly homes. Unfortunately, Shiva, the god of war, was no longer there to defend them. Grieving the death of the woman he loved, Shiva had turned his back on the world and all its pleasures. He now lived in a deep wood and spent his days in meditation and learning. His spiritual powers had become immense, but Shiva was no longer concerned with the problems of the gods and would not come to their aid. Desperate for a solution, the gods consulted the mother goddess Shakti, who suggested that only a son of Shiva could wage a successful war against the demons. Then she agreed to take on another form and draw Shiva out of the wood and to get him to father a warrior who would banish the demons. Shakti was reborn as the daughter of the Lord of the Mountains, and she was given the name Parvati. Once there was a beautiful young girl named Parvati. Even as a young girl, Parvati loved and served the god Shiva. Parvati was quite regular in her attentions to Shiva and brought him many gifts as a sign of her affections. However, Shiva only ignored her affections. Over the years, as Parvati grew, so did her love for Shiva. Despite numerous marriage proposals from princes from many neighboring provinces, she refused to marry anyone but Shiva. Realizing Shiva's grief over the death of his wife, Parvati decided to go into deep meditation while she waited for him to love her in return. Her meditation was so fervent and so long that she no longer required food, drink, or even air. Her father, seeing her slow decline in health, was concerned for her well-being. Parvati's father begged Shiva to acknowledge Parvati's devotion and save her life. Shiva finally relented to the father's pestering and appeared before Parvati disguised as a simple man in order to test her devotion.
Why is such a beautiful girl wasting her time meditating for Shiva? What would be worth that?
Love for Lord Shiva. I wish to marry him.
You wish to marry Shiva? Ha! You are talking about the three-eyed god who covers himself in ashes and wanders aimlessly in graveyards.
Yes, I mean that Shiva, and also the Shiva who's the master of the three worlds and who can't be understood by pathetic, puny minds like yours.
Suddenly, Shiva transforms back into his divine self and reveals his identity to his loyal servant Parvati. Impressed with her devotion, Shiva offers to grant her one wish.
You know the desire of my heart. I wish to marry you.
Shiva gladly granted her wish, and they were married. In their eyes, they saw that they both belonged to each other. They had always been together, just with different names. Lord Shiva was the father of the universe, and Goddess Parvati the mother. Her influence helped Shiva to become more creatively inclined and more gracious. But even though Parvati desperately wanted a child, Shiva did not. Stay tuned to find out what happens next time on the Devi Diva show. While a thorough examination of the historical facts is indeed interesting and valuable, it is also good to examine the culture of the ancient Hindu people. For this reason, we have received special permission from the Honorable Dr. Atharva to observe his diagnoses and treatments of his patients today. Observe the authentic and beneficial methods he uses to treat his patients and their effectiveness. Come in.
Hello, doctor. I have, problem? I, am having difficulties, defecating. If you know what I mean.
Oh, you mean pooping? I have just the thing. Take this charm and read it after every meal. It will help you be, regular.
We know the father of the Shat Mitra, the Lord of 100 powers. By this I may bring health unto thy body. Let the channels pour their burden freely as of old. Where hath gathered as it flowed, a bowels, bladder, or a groins. Thus let the conduit free from check Pour all its burden as of old. I lay the passage open as what cleaves the dam that bars the lake. Thus may I bring health unto thy body. Let the channels pour their burden freely as of old. Now hath the portal been enclosed, as in the sea that holds the flood. Even the arrow flies away with loosened from the archer's bow. Thus let the burden be discharged from channels that are checked no more. I don't know, Doctor. Not sure if... Oh goodness. Uh-oh. I must go.
Come in.
Hey Doc, I got a problem. Actually, my boyfriend has a problem. I'm not sure if he's cheating on me, but whenever I try to stalk him, he gets irritated. Can you help me? I must know.
Don't worry, this is a common problem. Just read this chart, and I guarantee he won't be able to see you next time.
Perfect. Ahem. There on the bank that those the viper lie thrice 7, having cast their skins. Now we, with their discarded sloughs, blind clothes, and cover up the eyes of the malicious highway thief. Far, let her go, cutting her away, brandishing as if there were a club. Diverted be the newborn's mind, ne'er are the wicked prosperous. Now may have had enough power, the feeble ones have not prevailed. Like scattered fragments of a reed ne'er are wicked prosperous. Go, forward, feet, press quickly on. Bring to the house of him who pays, unconquered and unplundered. Let Andraft foremost lead the way. Oh hey, it worked. He'll never see me coming. Thanks, Doc.
No problem. But next time, try a nice Indian boy. You won't have this problem.
Hey man, sorry I'm late. I had some serious technology issues. I was literally sprinting all the way here.
No problem. How can I help you today?
I got a problem. See, I need some hair. Can you help me?
Absolutely. Just read this chart, and you will get hair like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, okay man. Let's do this dang thing. Over a magic stone, beside Saravati, the gods ploughed in this barley that was blent with mead. Lord of the plough was Indra, strong with 100 powers. The plowers are the Madruts, they who give rich gifts. Thy joy in hair that falleth or is scattered, wherewith thou subjectest a man to laughter, to other trees. Far from thee will I drive it. Grow up, thou Sami, with 100 branches. Auspicious, bearing mighty leaves, holy one, nurtured by the rain, even as a mother to her sons. Be gracious, Sama, to her hair. Wow. I haven't had this much hair since I was the captain of the Tai Chi Club at Oxford. Yeah, thanks man. This is awesome.
No problem, man. Come in.
Hey Doc, I got to see the Wizard of Oz. However, I've heard that along the way there are lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
I know, that's what I said. Got anything for me?
Absolutely. I have something for you. Read this. When you encounter any of these beasts along the turmeric stone path, the yellow brick road.
3 have gone hence and passed away, the man, the tiger, and the wolf. Down verily the rivers flow, down goeth the celestial tree. Down let our foreman bend and bow, on distant path of the wolf, on pathway most remote the thief. On far road speed forth the rope with the teeth and malicious man. We crush and rend to pieces both thine eyes, O tiger, and the jaws and all the 20 claws we break. We bend and render the tiger first of creatures that are armed with teeth. Let the beast's teeth be broken off, shivered and shattered be his ribs. Indra's and Sum's child, thou art Artharvan's tiger's crushing charm.
You are now safe for your journey.
Thanks, Doctor. Would you happen to know how to get back to Kansas from here?
No.
No? Okay then. Bye.
Sometime after Parvati and Shiva were married, Shiva left to go on a long, arduous journey. While he was gone, Parvati became very lonely. Finally, after a while, Parvati decided to create for herself a child, which she named Ganesh. Parvati, trusting her son more than anyone else, decided that he would be best suited to guard the entrance to her house while she bathed. While Parvati was bathing, Shiva returned from his journey. Having never seen his son before, Shiva is startled by this new person guarding the entrance to his home and demands entrance to see his wife. Ganesh refuses.
Who are you? Move out of the way so I can see Parvati.
No! No one is allowed in.
Naturally, this irritated Shiva. He drew his sword and, in his anger, cut off Ganesh's head. Upon hearing all the commotion, Parvati emerged from the house and discovered her husband standing over her decapitated son. She's horrified and, sobbing, told Shiva that he had just killed their son. Shiva, seeing Parvati's distress, promises that he will bring Ganesh back to life. However, he cannot find Ganesh's head and can't bring him back to life. In an effort to make amends, Shiva sends his soldiers off to bring back the head of the first living thing they come across. The soldiers return with the elephant's head, and Shiva places it on his son's body and breathes life into him. Seeing Ganesh restored, Parvati's wrath subsides, and the family is happily reunited. To this day, Ganesh is still worshipped as the god of beginnings and obstacles. This origin story of Ganesh and also the story of Parvati and Shiva's marriage are found in the Shiva Purana and thus date from around 300 CE. The Shiva Purana is one of the earliest Puranas. There are many versions of these stories, just like with most Hindu mythologies. Some versions have Ganesh's head being cut off by Sani, while others, like the one narrated here, have it being cut off by the merciful Shiva. The stories also differ regarding the original station of Ganesh, with some posturing him as a great lord and others as a glorified doorkeeper. The history of these stories from the date of their origin to the present is similar, as they have both been passed down to the present in the same oral tradition as the Vedas, assumably without much modification. The significance of these stories is multifaceted. The story of Parvati and Shiva's meeting helps to justify why such a destructive deity as Shiva would have a consort or family, while also granting Parvati the authority to serve as a patron deity of devotion and love. Further, it also helps solidify the social role expected of woman in Hindu society, as well as what constitutes a noble sort of woman and wife. The Ganesh origin story, in the most obvious of senses, helps to explain why this powerful Deva has the head of an elephant, though it also helps to explain why Ganesh is considered the patron deity of new beginnings, and also often attributed as the deity of overcoming obstacles. Finally, the fact that Shiva gave Ganesh the elephant head he is so famed for helps to explain the common analogy that his head symbolizes the Atman, while his body symbolizes the perishable, mere human body. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next Devi Diva show.
Just read this charm. read this jar.
Forget that. Okay.
I'm gonna keep it.
What's gonna do? House and discovered her husband standing over her decapitated son.